Everyone, so today what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at a way we can show related records that are two objects away. So that means we, for example, could have, we're looking on accounts and we want to find a record that's related to opportunities but doesn't have a lookup to accounts. So our issue here, what we can use as a demo is we have opportunities and they have a master detail relationship to a custom object, which we're calling financial tasks. But the users want to see these financial tasks on the account record page. Obviously, you can't use the normal method of related list in the page layout because there isn't the link there. We're imagining that we don't have lookup to that account. As you can see, and then the last bit is that they want to be able to navigate to those specific tasks. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to take advantage of a couple of components that are available on UnofficalSF, which is my go-to website. There's some amazing things on there that really extend your ability to do things on flow. So we're going to install a couple of those. We're going to create the flow, and then we're going to add it to the record page. Now I'm going to show you two methods of creating the flow. One is bad practice, but I'll explain why I'm going to show you that, and one is using more of the unofficial SF things, particularly something by Eric Smith. So first of all, we're going to start here. We're going to have a look at this our account page, and as you can see we have nothing on it. The first thing we want to do is we want to install our things from UnofficalSF. I'll put the links in the record below. So the first one we want, so I'm going to go here, is called Get Records in Flow Action. Now what this does is it enables you to get related records off a record collection. So what we're going to be doing in the flow is we're going to be first of all getting all the appropriate opportunity records for that account, and then we're going to get the financial tasks that are associated with those opportunities and put those into a collection so that we can use them. And it's very easy to do. You find it on UnofficalSF. There's loads of instructions here that are very useful. They tell you exactly what you need to do. And then if we scroll all the way down, we have the steps here about how we install if we want production and want sandbox. You need your flow base packs first. These are a couple of things that you again can get, I think, off the App Exchange. Very easy to get, very easy to do. And the second one we want is navigate anywhere. Navigate everywhere. And what this does, this enables us to go to the record page. Actually, there's a lot more things that you can do with this, but for us, we just want to go to a record page, and we're going to go in view mode. We're not going to go into edit mode. As you can see, you could also create a new record here if needed. Lots of different things that you could do. In a similar way, there are some instructions, and then there's the ability to install in your production or in your sandbox. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is going to create ourselves a new flow. This is showing you the bad method, and I'll explain why it is the bad method. We're going to have a screen flow. We're going to create it. Everyone has their own view. I like freeform. It's the easiest way. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get my records. So I want to get my opportunity. Oh, can't spell. And these, the opportunity. And I want the account ID here to equal the account ID of the record that I'm on. Now, this is something that you need to do. You need to create a variable that can have an input, and the reason is when you place the screen flow on a record, you have the ability to input the ID of that record into the flow. So we want to create a new resource. It's a variable, and it's called record ID. You have to be quite specific about this. Small r, capital I, record ID. Data type is it's text. We don't want multiple, and you need available for input. Done. So here we're saying that we want to get opportunity records where the account ID of the opportunity equals the record ID, which is going to be inputted from the page that we are on. I also want to limit this down, so I'm only looking for those that are closed won. So you obviously want to try and limit down whatever it is you want to display. One thing that I'm not adding on here, but I probably would, is I would want some kind of date limit, because if I just continue to get this as the org gets older, you're going to end up with loads and loads of financial tasks from 10 years ago. So you need to have a real think, how do I limit what I'm returning so that's actually relevant? We're going to sort them. I don't need to sort them. I want all records, and I'm going to automatically store all fields. So there we go, that's got my opportunity records. Next I'm going to loop. So loop through Unity records. In the collection variable, those opportunities which I've just found. I'm going to go first to last. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my financial records. As we said, within a loop, particularly what I want to do. So what I'm looking at here is I want the opportunity that it's associated with to equal the ID of the current item that I'm looping through. I would like to sort them. I'm going to sort them off the opportunity name. I'm going to make sure that I get all records. Store all fields. So done. Loop through each item. After I've looped through each item, I want to display them. Show my header, and I'm going to use a data table to show them. So for my source collection, I want this record collection variable of the financial tasks that I've just got. And on configure rows, I'm going to go for single because at a later stage I want them to be able to go to the right place. Okay, configure my columns. So this is where I add what's going to be visible. So I want the name of the opportunity. This opportunity name is actually a formula text field I have on the financial task object, so it just pulls it in so it's easy to display. Otherwise, if I use the lookup, it would just show the record ID. Sorry, I looked at master detail. I'm going to add a description. Expected completion date. And stage. There we go. So these are my 4 items. Everything looks good. I'm just going to configure my footer. So I don't want a previous and I don't want a pause because there's nothing for them to go back to. And instead I'm going to use a custom label here, which is record. Okay. And one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to require that they make selection. Okay. Do save. Fine. And now I'm going to do my last thing, which is an action. So this using the navigate to URL, navigate everywhere action. So I'm going to bring that on here. Okay, so to set these values, you want to basically use instructions here. That's really where it's helpful. So for this case, the destination type, I want a record. And the destination record ID is going to be the selected record from my data table. So I go in here, first selected row, ID. There we go. Sorry, destination action as well. This says whether I want to view or edit. So in this case, I just want to view the record. Going to click done, connect that up, save, and activate. So now my flow is activated. I'm going to go back to my account record page. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to edit the page. And I want the flow component. So I'm going to grab the flow here, and I want to throw it in the top. So on the right hand side now, you see I have my choices. So I'm going to choose my flow, financial task flow. Here we go. And then this is a really key thing. Pass record ID into this variable. So you may have done this, I've done this. I sat for half an hour wondering why my flow didn't work, and it's because I forgot to tick this. So this basically says when you're on this page, pass the ID of this record into the flow which you're doing. Really important, very easy to forget, or very easy to forget the first time. Okay, that's saved. Go back to the page. And here we go. So what it's done is it's looked at the opportunities I have down here, and it has found all the current financial tasks that are associated with those opportunities. This one's incomplete, so I can select it. Click go to records, and it takes me straight to that financial task. So that's our first way of doing it. Now I'm going to show you a second way. As we say, this is not a good thing to do, but I do think sometimes if you are very clear what your limits are, it's not going to cause too much of a problem. So let's make a new flow. So now we're going to make flow a better way using the add-in that you can get from UnofficalSF. One thing you want to bear in mind is that there are obviously volunteers that create these components, so at some point they may choose to say that they don't want to support it anymore, and you have to then consider what you do with your org. But it's a great website, very reliable stuff. Then some fantastic things that I think a lot of people are using. So we're going to create a screen flow. First thing we want to do is get records, so we're going to get the opportunities. Where the account ID equals, oh, I need to create it first, create equals the record ID. Just like we did in the first one, we need to have a variable that where the record ID can be passed into. And then we want stage. So stage equals 1. Don't need to sort, I do want all records. I'm going to click done. Now my action. The action is called get records in by Eric Smith. The financial tasks. So first of all, get the records of this object. So the ones I want are the financial tasks. Where the value of this field, the opportunity, so financial tasks where the opportunity can be found in a record collection. Now, if you remember, I just got opportunities. So the source object, I need to change that. I need to change that to opportunity because that's what I'm looking at. And then my record collection is get opportunities. And then the field is the record ID of that opportunity. So it's basically saying here, get me financial tasks where the value in the field opportunity on the financial task, so that's the master detail, can be found in the collection that I just got, and it's linked to the field of the opportunity ID. And I want to store all fields. Done. So that should now get my financial record. So we go on to the next one, screen. Same as before, really. So tasks. We are going to add a data table. Type, table. And my source collection is going to be here. So it's going to be the output from the get financial tasks action that we did. Output collection. Do that. I'm going to remove my flow header. Go back to the table. Configure row, same as before. So I want a single. It's going to be required, and I configure my columns. So I'm going to have, what do we have? We have the opportunity name. The description, and the date, stage, or status. So that's fine. Adjust my footer. Don't want a previous. Don't want a pause. And I want a custom next or finished. Go to record. Here, we're going to have the navigate everywhere. I've written no descriptions here. Always write your descriptions. I haven't. Destination type to record. Not the record ID. Sometimes it pre-fills, so just be careful that you don't choose variable instead of writing a string. My action is going to be a view, so I don't want to edit it. And my destination record ID. So here, again, it's in the data table. It's the first selected row, and it is the record ID. Okay. Save. Better. Flow. Going to activate it, and let's go back here. We're going to go to an account. I'm going to edit the page. I'm going to change this flow because that's the old one. And it's this one here, better financial tasks. Again, remember to click pass record ID into this variable. Click save. Let's go back. Here we go in the same way. So we have our current financial tasks. Choose one. Click go to record. And it takes me to the record. So that's two different methods, one good, one bad, which you can do to find related records that are two objects away. Hope you found it helpful.